This is made by vtester. He's one of the mods of LittleWarGame. And for those of you who are new to this, LittleWarGame is, if you didn't find it from here and you found it from over on my Twitter, it's a real-time strategy-based game with some deliberately retro graphics, and it kind of hits that old school feel. So we're going to go into the first tutorial. There are 2 of them, and then we're going to go into the campaign, of which there are 3, soon to be 4. And then I'll generate as far as we have thus far. So without any further ado, let's go into tutorial 1. Learn the basics of unit control, moving, attacking, and casting spells. Map by vtester. And there we go. I like the little floating graphic he made custom that says click me. So this is our soldier. Cool. And I like the floating graphic. So welcome to LittleWarGame. In this game, you can control various units, build a base, and train armies to destroy your opponents. Hover your mouse over these tutor stones to learn how to play. So glad he made this little graphic before. It was not intuitive that you would click these or look over them. And the second one, to start, select the soldier below by left clicking on it. Okay. Then move down the path by right clicking where you want to go. It's also really cool that vtester got this graphic and made these tutorials, because in the campaigns we're going to be using these same tutor stones or tutorial stones that are called here to explain things to the player. For those of you who are more interested on a technical level, if you go into the editor for LittleWarGame, there's a field about halfway down for all buildings and units that says hover text, H-O-V-E-R capital T-E-X-T. And whatever you put on there is what the player will see when their mouse hovers over the indicated object, hence hover text. And that actually does a lot of work for these tutorials and campaigns, because we weren't able to get any kind of vocals out of it. Nothing where you click it and then it says words or it follows a YouTube video or a script, etc. I like the arrows he does up here. And you discover them in order, so you're naturally predisposed to select this one. Good. Notice how the black area recedes when you move, letting you see more of the map. The area behind you is now hidden. You can still see any buildings there, but no units. And this is explaining the fog of war to people. There is an enemy wolf up ahead. To kill it, move your worker along the path until you see it, then right-click the wolf to attack. Your soldier will also automatically try to attack any enemies it can see. It can see is the vision that we've provided here, and it's actually modified by the field vision. So if you're used to other real-time strategy games, perhaps you're used to the idea that units will not only have the vision of what they can see, but they will have an area to which they can acquire. If you're used to, for example, Warcraft 3, you're used to the fact that creeps after a certain amount of time will leash out of range. So we're going to keep going until we find the wolf, and we will right-click it to kill it. That is not the optimal way to go about killing things, but we will learn more. Excellent. Notice the colored bar above your soldier, and the fraction in the bottom center of the screen. This is its health. This right here. When the health of a unit reaches 0, it will die. There is a funny trick where if the unit does a fraction of damage, it can look as if your unit is alive with 0 hit points. But it's not. We promise that it's not. Like the unit is still alive, but that's because these are integers. It doesn't show 0.44, like 0.0001, for example. So we're going to scroll down. What are these houses? Well, right now, knowing what we know, you cannot right-click to attack them. That's because these are neutral houses. Let's see if it tells us more about that later. Oh, another tutor stone. Move your soldier into the green area ahead to heal it. So for those of you who have played other real-time strategy games like Age of Empires or perhaps Warcraft 3 especially, this will seem very familiar. So, well done. You have received more soldiers. To select multiple units at once, left-click and drag a box around them, or hold Shift and left-click each one. Holding Shift to left-click each one is useful when you want to add them to a group, but for now, we're going to just click and drag all of them, and we move over here. There are multiple enemies ahead. To attack move to a location, attacking any enemies along the way, left-click the attack button in the bottom right of the screen, or press A. Then left-click the location you want to go. For those of you who are watching this because you've never played a real-time strategy game before, you didn't know about these tutorials, or maybe you would just want to get a little bit better, it's much faster for you, especially if you've learned to type a bit. You're used to A being on your pinky finger for your home row keys. Go ahead and use A. to move those units forward and have them attack as much. See, this is a bit slow and requires a lot of precision. This, A and click, A and click. Your pinky is right there, and you don't have to move back to that A. It gets very, very useful when you're controlling a lot of units in depth. And 1 second. Ah, my nose. So, that out of the way. So, we're going to left click and A to move forward. And do we see anything? There's going to be multiple units. They're very far in the distance, and there we go. So there are 3 wolves. This is a good introduction in a variety of ways. Not only do we give people... Oh, hey, friend or foe. I'm sorry, not right now, dude. Can I report? I mean, you can report, but we're not in game. We won't let this pop up. So, sure. So, it's good for a variety of reasons. One, we've got multiple units, and we've seen how we can move them to different areas using the power of right-click. Much like Warcraft 3, there's more that you can explore here than you actually have to for the tutorial. We give units, give people a couple of things. So first we give them this healing area back here, vtester did, and that allows them to heal in the event that any of the units are very close to death. And this almost entirely removes the possibility of loss. The second thing that this does is it gets you used to the idea of this ward and this healing area. So without really doing it on purpose, we're priming people to expect priests, because priests summon temporary wards that heal units around them for a set amount of time. So we're getting people used to a priest spell without them knowing it. We're giving them control over soldiers, so they're used to that. We've taught people efficient ways to attack and to attack move. And if you're really, really interested and you try and apply this, you can use that attack move that you had earlier to click and attack this house over here. And this is kind of a reward for you going back and piggybacking on the earlier knowledge that you had. Alternatively, this is something that an experienced player can get more value out of. And just see, oh, I can attack this. So there's a church. We're going to attack that. We're going to attack everything that we can. We're going to send 2 of these people to go down here and attack this house. See if we can't attack through this area. Wait. A secret! It's Secret Penguin. We are definitely going to kill Secret Penguin. Death to Secret Penguin! So we've killed Secret Penguin. I like the little achievement sound that we get there. It fills my heart with joy. And I don't believe, though, that we can move any further along. No, we can't. We're going to take this out, though, because we can. And then we're going to continue merrily along. As you can see, we're taking basically the maximum amount of time to go through this tutorial. And yet, it's only been about 7 minutes. One of the glorious things about this is that while LittleWarGame does not have save states, it does have the ability for you to just replay the map. And that means that making a short, quick, easy to get through, simple to understand tutorial is important. A 20-minute tutorial doesn't work as well because if the player dies or if they're in a position where they can't win, they have to start over from scratch. Great, only a few enemies remain. However, there's a werewolf ahead that is too strong for your soldiers to defeat alone. Some units have special abilities. This wizard has a Fire Blast spell that can kill the werewolf. To use it, select the wizard thing. Left-click the Fire Blast button on the bottom right of the screen, or press Q, then left-click the werewolf. So, as we were talking about before in the description, this gets us used to the idea of what spellcasters can do. This is not an actual demonstration of the skill, or the strength, rather, of that ability of Fire Blast. One Fire Blast does not exist in the game, though. So what this does for us is, well, it may give us a false priming for what the mage is capable of doing. It certainly gets the point across of using the spellcasters, and also it kind of it's good that we're going against the intentions of it teaching every aspect of the game to 100% accuracy, because we are creating a skill gate for the players. We are saying you cannot pass until you use this ability on this unit. And as you see, all of the units are dead, so we win. For those of you interested from an editor perspective as to why that is, all of the units in this game, either the units themselves have prevent loss, or there is a structure that exists that's invisible and is kept alive by a positive health regeneration for all of the enemy units that are kept alive. Once all of the enemy units are killed, it goes from a positive health regeneration to a negative one. Since that building is the only one that has the prevents loss marker, we can end the game by killing all of the units without having the player have to destroy an entire base or do anything that seems obviously like, here, now do this to end the mission. So there we go, that's tutorial 1. We're going to cut it there, and then I'm going to come back for tutorial 2. Thanks again, and I will see you shortly.